Peace, peace, peace. This is your brother Isaiah Muhammad, also known as Prince of Peace 5. And we are here live on the very first episode of the Mind and Soul podcast. So if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you click that subscribe button. But if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, make sure you click that like and share button so others can enjoy this video as well. Without further ado, let's get started.
Driving through the city and you know how we riding. 100 soldiers with me so you know we not silent. Hazards on, we in our all black motorcade. Clogging up the street, you think that it's a parade. You need to drive slow, drive slow, drive slow. Looking through your window, better drive slow, drive slow. Put your arm out the window, let them know that you riding. Start your engine.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for taking their time out to come join us on the soul portion of the Mind and Soul podcast. So I decided, since this is the first episode of the Mind and Soul podcast, why not dedicate it to the first Jordan shoe, which is the Jordan 1. The Jordan 1 was originally released in 1985 and has become one of the most iconic sneakers ever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the top 10 Jordan 1s that I picked. Now look, these aren't in any particular order. It's not based off of hype. It's not based off of, the most expensive. It's based off of the shoe that I like. Because I know one thing about sneakers. You never want to buy what's hyped. You want to buy what you like. We're going to get straight into it. The first shoe we're going to go with is the Shattered Backboard Jordan 1. And this shoe got its name from exactly that. In 1986, Jordan was playing over in Italy in an expedition game. And Jordan went up for a dunk, and he did exactly that, shattered the backboard. So the reason why this shoe is this color is because Jordan's jersey that he wore in that game actually matches this shoe. This is actually one of my favorite Jordan 1s that he didn't wear on court. I just liked the colorway when I first saw it. I knew I had to have it back when it released in 2015. Of course, it comes with the white laces. You got the tumble leather on the inside of the shoe. I don't know if you all can see it, but it's the shattered backboard. Nice little touch that they added to it. So I'm loving this. Out of the 4 pair of shattered backboard that were released, this is actually my favorite. Some may say 4 pair. I thought it was only 3, the shattered backboard 1.0, the 2.0, and the 3.0. Before you get into it saying I don't know what I'm talking about, just bear with me. This was the first pair, then it was the Jordan Shattered Backboard 2.0, which I actually didn't get because I really wasn't feeling too much. So I skipped over that and I went and got the Jordan Shattered Backboard 3.0. Now this one right here, when I first saw this sneaker, I hated it. I thought it was hideous. I was trying to look up tutorials on how to take the gloss off and how to make the sole white instead of this cream, this off-white that's on it, this, egg custard type of color. So when I first saw it, I wasn't feeling the sneaker at all. But the more and more I seen it on people's feed or I see pictures of it, I said, all right, I'm starting to like it a little bit. I'm still not gonna buy it. But when I saw it up close and I noticed that it actually looks like glass, shattered backboard glass, and I just put 2 and 2 together. And then I said, look, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. So this is the 3rd pair that they put out. So the 4th pair is a pair that I actually want more than both of these 2 pairs. And that pair I couldn't get. And since I couldn't get it, I went and got it for somebody who can get it. The Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard Satin that only came in women's sizes. So since I couldn't get them, and I couldn't get them in my size, I went and bought them for my wife. So if I can't wear them, somebody in the house gonna be able to wear them. So that's number 1. So next up we got the Jordan 1 Shadows. This shoe actually released in 2013, and then a low version in 2015, and then again in 2018. When I see this shoe, I just think of, the OG Raiders. I see Ice Cube and Eazy-E with a Raiders cap and a Raiders sweater. This give me NWA vibe. And another thing, shout out to Ice Cube. Shout out to Ice Cube for always showing love to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And when the Jews pressed him, he didn't back down. So much love to Ice Cube on that. We appreciate you. Thank you for standing strong. So the Jordan 1 Shadow is next on our list. So next up we got the Jordan 1 All-Star. You know what? Let me take this off because you can't even see the shoe. This shoe was actually released in February 2017 during All-Star Weekend. Depending on how you look at this shoe or depending on how the light hits it, it's a teal, then you got a blue, and you got a purple. But I believe this is one of the most slept on Jordan 1s. And my favorite part about the shoe is actually the icy bottom. You can never go wrong with an icy bottom. The only way you can go wrong with an icy bottom is if you wear them too much and they turn black, or you don't wear them at all and oxidation sets in. But to keep the icy bottom clean, of course, you can buy a sole protector, or you can just make your own sole protector. I know they got some tutorials on YouTube to make your own sole protector for whatever icy bottom shoe that you have. So next up we got, I gotta take these damn laces off, okay? You can't even see. The Jordan 1 Not For Resale. In the black. This shoe comes in the black, white, and maize yellow. M-A-I-Z-E, not M-A-Z-E. Yeah, I don't know the difference either. One thing I love about this shoe is it encourages you to wear the shoe. On the toe box it says please, but on the other box it says crease. So please crease. On one part of the shoe it says wear, and the other part of the shoe it says me. So it's telling you to wear the shoe. It's kind of giving you the opposite of what everybody did. Everybody bought this shoe, and a lot of them didn't wear it, but it's telling you to wear it. A lot of these people bought this shoe, didn't crease them, but it's telling you to crease it. A lot of people bought this shoe and it's telling you not for resale. Oh, but you can bet they resold it. So this shoe right here, I love the colorway. And of course I'm from Baltimore, so I'm not a Steelers fan, but I can't go wrong with the black and the yellow, of course going along with the white as well. And of course you can't have one pair without having the other. The other pair of Not For Resale Jordan 1s that released in the black, white, and red colorway as well. So you can't have one without the other. So these are two shoes that I like. And of course the resale price is through the roof right now, but I was blessed to get them for a reasonable price. So the thing I like about this shoe is it kind of gives like an off-white feel, you know, with the Not For Resale and, you know, the no photos on the back and the wear me and the please crease, of course. So speaking about the off-whites, whoa. Hey bro, I'm gonna have to get sub, get him out the game, coach. Get him out the game, coach. Oh, I'm like Odell out here. Oh, did y'all see that? I'm like Odell out here. What? All right, come on. We're gonna get to the next shoe, which is the Jordan 1 UNC Off-White. For those that don't know, or have been living under a rock for the past couple years, Off-White is an Italian fashion label by the designer Virgil Abloh, who is also the artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear, which makes him the first black person to ever lead the Louis Vuitton menswear line. So this shoe is a collaboration between his brand Off-White and the Jordan 1. And Off-White has done many other collaborations with other sneakers as well. He's done the Jordan 5, 2 black pair Air Force 1s, a white pair, a Volt green pair, a blue pair, MS 97s, Nike Prestos, Converses. But his collaborations with shoes has been taking them and making little tweaks on them and just making them his own shoe. Of course, when you look on the side, you see the Off-White for Nike Air Jordan 1, Beaverton, Oregon, USA, 1985. And of course, he puts his quotation marks everywhere, but one of the main things that stands out is when he puts on the shoelace and writes shoelace. I don't know about y'all, but that's genius to me. So every time when you see the zip tie, you already know that's Off-White. So this actually I got last summer, and I was planning on wearing it last summer, but I never got to do it. Then I was planning on wearing it this summer, but then the pandemic hit and I still ain't got to do it. So hopefully one day I'll be able to put these shoes on as well. And of course he has the all white pair, then he also has the original bread colorway. And I wasn't really liking the bread colorway, and it's too expensive and too pricey for me, so that's why I don't have it. So next, we got the Jordan 1 Storm Blue Union. The Union LA is a streetwear brand in LA which collaborated and made a Jordan 1. This is the Storm Blue colorway. Because one day I saw my good brother from LA, Afro Kick. Shout out to my brother Afro Kicks. But I saw him on Instagram and he was at a Jordan event. And I saw him have 2 bags in his hand. And I said, Dad, what you get? He said, oh, I got the Union Jordan 1's. At that time, I didn't know what the Union Jordan 1's were. So I went and looked them up. I said, Dad, those are fire. I need those ASAP. Then I saw the sale prices on them. I was like, nah, I don't need them right now. But eventually I waited and I was able to get a pair of the Storm Blue pair. But not only was I able to get a pair of the Storm Blue pair, the main thing I love about this shoe is the different color laces. It's actually one lace, and I think that's just creative. I love how you can see the exposed foam on the tongue. Of course, you got the Union LA tab right here. This shoe is just, I love the different colors and how they accent each other. And this shoe is just fire. So next up we got the Jordan 1 Top 3s. Which is a mashup of 3 of the most iconic Jordan 1s, the Bread Bands, the Royals, and the Chicago. And I love how the colorway, of course, you got the mismatched panels. On this shoe, it's blue, but on the other shoe, it's red. It's just a match, it's like a perfect matchup of all 3 of the shoes. And actually one of my favorites. When I first saw it, I knew I had to have it. So next up we got, oh, I know the hype beat's gonna love this. The Jordan 1 Travis Scott Cactus Jack. Of course, you got the suede on the shoe, and of course, you got the iconic Cactus Jack logo, Nike Air on the tongue. But the most iconic part about the shoe is the backward swoosh. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know why they came up with this, but I want to thank you for coming up with this. It's a small tweak, but it makes such a big difference. And anything Travis Scott put his name on nowadays skyrockets and goes through the roof. So lastly, I would say out of all of the Jordan 1s, this probably is my favorite Jordan 1. And that is the Jordan 1 Gold Toe. This shoe right here is literally not only one of my favorite Air Jordan 1s, this is probably one of my favorite shoes to date. I love this shoe. So that's that. So that wraps it up for the soul portion of the Mind and Soul podcast. Once again, I want to thank you for taking your time out to come join us here on the Mind and Soul podcast. And please, before anything else, make sure you click that subscribe button. But if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, make sure you click that like and share button so others can enjoy this video as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Mind and Soul. And don't forget to stop over to peaceguardapparel.com to grab your Be Great shirt and other designs as well. Because you already know when you see that dove, you know it's love. I'm done, fellas. We good. That's a wrap. I always wanted to do that.